Okay, I need this to focus. Okay, so pause. Before we even get into this, I know I've been slipping on Vlogmas. It's actually a lot harder than it seems. Like, yo, Vlogmas is not for the weak, and obviously I'm not strong. I'm trying though, I'm trying. We're gonna get back onto it. Okay, so, boom, let's rewind. So this was my second semester being an RA when I was working at Harker Hall. This was spring 2017. So if y'all know Shauna and Corey from my vlogs, like they've been in a couple of my vlogs or whatever, that's how we became cool, because we were all resident assistants in Harper Hall, H-Town gang. Oh, let me tell y'all key parts I need to know for the story as well. Okay, boom. When I say the block, when I refer to the block is like the master key. So there's like 6 keys on the block, whatever, right? So that's what the block means. And AD stands for area director. Area director is in charge of the entire area. Then you have RA, of course, resident assistant. Yeah, that's all you need to know. Okay, boom. This was a Friday. It was a Friday. I remember it was a Friday, and I know that I worked early that particular day. I was working early, so I remember I worked from 8 to 11 that day. So I went to the desk. Oh, the desk, by the way, the desk is like, you know, like the front, like when you come in or whatever, like come to check in, you give the person your ID or whatever. Yeah, so that's the desk. That's where we used to sit to do our desk hours. So, boom, sat at the desk, 8 to 11, like as I was supposed to. And then I have class at 11. But this particular day, I did not have class. But I was tired. So I'm like, man, I'm not scheduled to be here anyway. So I was like, I could just go in my room. So once 11 hit, I just went in my room. Now, usually, like, if we don't have nothing to do, like, we'll wait or whatever. Like, sometimes we'll wait, sometimes we won't. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. This area in particular, like, Harker at the time, this is before that it was, like, this is before it was, like, an honors dorm. This is, like, when it was, like, nobody living in there. That was, like, the last resort kind of place. You know what I mean? So, boom. Corey was supposed to come to the desk at 11, but he wasn't there, so I just like went in my room. Like usually, like you give it like 5-10 minutes or whatever, like the next person will come. I remember I went to sleep, and then I get a knock on my door from one of my residents, and she was like, "Oh, can I borrow some scissors?" I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Okay, hold up." I left them in the closet or whatever, right? So we have an RA closet for like all of our bulletin boards and stuff like that. So the only way we can access this closet is with the block, because the key for that closet is on the block. So that's when I go to get the block, whatever, and then the key was always on like the end. So like I remember I always used to grab the block by the last key. So, you know, I went to go grab it, whatever, and then I'm going to open the closet. I'm like, oh, it's not working. So I'm like, oh, maybe I just grabbed it from the wrong side. So I flip to the other side, boom, it's still not working. So now I'm like, okay, so I get to check in the code, because there's a specific code for this key, for the master key on the block, because there's like about 6 keys on the block. So, no, there were 6 keys on the block. So there's like a particular code for that key. So I would go to like look for the code, and I'm like, I don't see this code. So I'm like, no, maybe Corey or Shauna took the key, I don't know. So I text the group chat. I was like, yo, one of y'all got the key? Got the master key or whatever? They was just like, what you mean? It should be on the block. I was like, bruh, it's not on the block. So they like, what? Like everybody, both of them just started panicking. Now, mind you, once I saw them start panicking, that's when I was just like, oh, you know, it's a dub. I was like, oh. Because first of all, let me tell y'all the penalty if y'all lose the block, okay? Because one, you have the master key. So that means you have to change every key in the building. I mean, every lock in the building. And then you also have to have 2 keys for each building. So like if it's a 2-bed dorm, if it's a 2-bed room, then you gotta have 2 keys for that room. If it's just a regular room, then, you know, 1 key. Cool. So if you lose this block, that's basically like your whole scholarship. Like you don't get no money, you don't get paid, none of that. This is at the time when we were still getting paid in the scholarship. So we like, oh nah. So mind you, on top of all of this, our boss is on vacation. So you know what that means? You know who's the only other person that has a key? A master key? Our boss, our AD. So now we like, oh my God. Okay, so this is like earlier in the day. I would say this is around like 12 o'clock to 2. So fast forward like later, like, you know, like fast forward to, I would say like maybe like 8, 9 o'clock, right? So we all cooking, you know, drinking, trying to forget about our problems, you know. So then we get a call from Bijan. Now, I forgot this particular part though, because I don't remember exactly how our AD, well, not our AD, but I don't remember exactly how the AD on call ended up like finding out or whatever, but I remember that it was like something along the lines like, you know, we could just figure it out, whatever, like let's figure it out when Bijan comes back. And then somehow Bijan calls us and she's like, why y'all got people calling me? What's going on in Hartford? Da, 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 whatever, right? Again, mind you, Hartford is not one of them areas where you have problems. So if somebody calls, like, you know it's a problem. So, and on top of that, she's drunk. But that's besides the point. Anyway, so then we like, oh man, we all about to lose our jobs. So then she ends up hanging up eventually. So then we just like, you know what? You're gonna lose our jobs, you might as well just enjoy it, right? So then we just, you know, we having fun at least. So they was like, oh, don't tell the residents on top of that, of course, obviously. So, okay, boom. You think it's over here? No. Next day, Saturday. So that's when I remember Shauna, she went to the police station to see like, you know, to check like cameras or whatever, to like see if, you know, you could do anything or whatever, right? So Shauna tried to do everything that she can. And at the time I was also dancing ambiance, so we had a show, so I was like literally at practice all day. And then like, you know, I came home and then, you know, ended up going back to practice again. So later that night, one of our residents calls us and tells us that he has had things stolen from his room. I wish I was lying. I wish I was joking. I really wish that this was not real, but this is really what happened. The person stole an Xbox, stole his Yeezys, stole a watch, and then it was like a couple of other things, but those were like 3 like main things that like the person stole, right? So that's when we like, okay. So then we had to also, now everybody knows what's going on, like as far as like our supervisors and stuff like that. So now we had to let somebody know, whatever. And then we had to also alert the police. So y'all not gonna believe. So we do know who stole the key, just to put that out there. We know who stole the key, right? Because there was only one person in the building that was suspected because he was just a delinquent. A delinquent to say the least. We saw this man. I lie to you not. I really wish that I was joking, but I'm really not. So we went back to the cop, like we went back to the police station to check cameras again, right? Please tell me why. We see suspect number 1 walking out of the building with a big box under his shirt, like not even trying to hide it or anything, right? No, like literally, like that's like if I put an Xbox and I'm walking out like this. You ain't try to hide. You could have put it in a book bag or something. Like you ain't even tried. Didn't even try. So the cops were saying like, oh, you can't necessarily like pin that on somebody because you don't know. So you telling me? Let's put 2 and 2 together. Let's just put 2 and 2 together. So, yeah. So that's really what happened, y'all. Person stole the key. And then he stole somebody's stuff. And then he got away with it. But because we knew what was going on, because he already previously like had issues like with our AD already, he did get kicked out of on-campus housing. So, I mean, he did kind of have some reprimand, but yeah. But yeah, generally, like, he got away with it. And that's literally what happened. So yeah, that's almost how I lost my job. But obviously, you know, I'm still here because, you know, I became student director, I got promoted and all that. So I'm still here. I survived UMES res life. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story. Go ahead, comment, like, subscribe, all of that. I am graduating in, I had an exact time, but so make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and turn your post notifications on so you can see my graduation vlog, because it's gonna be litty. And then I'm going home finally. So yeah, thanks for watching.